Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
Our next guest is here. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
My name's Piers. I'm the founder of a company called Tewke, and we are reinventing the light switch for the 21st century.
Okay.
So
I appreciate you pronouncing it for me, because when I got the pitch, I ran it through my head a couple of times to, to come up with a pronunciation.
Tewke, other words, everyone's used lots of different versions.
Okay.
My wife comes from a little village in England called Tewkesbury, so it's my homage to her.
Okay.
So it's but we wanted a .com, so when we go international.
Yeah, that always becomes the challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what have we got? I see it says Tap.
So Tap is our first product. What we're looking to build is essentially the smart grid, but we do that through controlling individual homes and consumption within the home.
Okay.
And so what we've designed and built is essentially a light switch that can go into any home. It's a full touch screen. I don't have power, unfortunately, so I can't show it.
Yeah, understood.
But it's basically a magnetic light switch that goes into any existing. So this is for the European market, so it's not. I can't show you the US version.
That's fine.
But it has a mount. You basically unwire your existing light switch. You wire ours in.
Okay.
And then the screen goes onto it, and then you've got a beautiful OLED screen, which gives you an amazing home automation experience.
Okay.
And then the clever bit is in the background, we're using AI automation to understand your behavior and then automate your experience, but also do an energy management piece at the same time. So we're optimizing your energy consumption. So in the UK, we're doing some tests at the moment. We're saving nearly 50% consumption within the home, just by doing all the little things that we can't be bothered to do. So turn the lights off when we're not in a room, turn the heating down when we're not at home, and we're making these savings all the time. So it's about nudging behavior and giving everyone in their home a touch point where they can interact with their home and get a better experience than if it's all sitting on your phone. Okay.
So you mentioned changing light settings and temperature settings based on presence. So is there presence sensing in this?
Yes, we have 9 sensors.
Okay.
So we have Doppler radar, we have microphones, speakers, but we also have temperature sensors, volatile compounds. So we're looking at the whole environment of your home.
Okay.
We use that input data to then understand how you're living and what you like and what you enjoy, and identifying you. But all that information stays within the home because this is a really smart device.
Okay. And so the intent is theoretically to replace the light switches in the house with these guys.
Yeah.
And so you said VOCs, so my mind went to that because my thermostat, which they don't make anymore and it makes me very sad, has a VOC sensor in it.
Yeah.
But I can only get the reading for that location.
Yeah.
Right? This is all over the house, so you'd actually be able to make decisions such as where they might be coming from.
Yeah.
Based on, oh, look, they're all high, but this one is wicked.
Yeah.
That's probably close to that one.
And that's what we're finding in the UK. We've got, obviously, we're a bit of a, not as a dry temperature that we have here in Vegas, but it's, we have problems with mold, high humidity.
Yeah.
So
we're able, Florida, I get you.
We're able to identify where that is and then give people instructions on what to do to improve it.
Okay.
So rather than you looking at a lot of data, it actually is giving you real-world language.
It's analyzing and
so open a window, turn the heating up, stop drying your clothes in the house, put them in the dryer, or dry them outside. All those things that we just forget and we don't think about. So.
Okay, interesting. All right, so what kind of price point are we looking at on these guys?
So at the moment, our product, we're looking at about $300 per unit. But we're also investigating the opportunity of doing a sort of subscription model, because basically so much of it is driven by software that over the air. So security, media control, assisted living, are all the extra features that we'll be able to just drop onto the device over time. Okay. So those features will come down and deliver more benefits to the user.
Okay. And is there a version that's got the control capability, maybe without all the screen if you've got multiple light switches in the same room?
It's a good point. So we're just doing a version at the moment without the touch sensitive. So it's just a capacitive touch module, which you can then use for a cheaper, so the bathroom, or if you've got multiple switches in the same room, then you don't need them all with a screen.
I've got, in the studio, we've got 3 switches.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. And then what we're doing is virtualizing them. So it's like, any sort of full home automation system, every light switch becomes virtual. So you can make any light switch do anything. You can group things together, dim, and all that controls through our app, where you can then program it and set it up. But you don't need any third-party person involved in doing that. So,
so
the idea is,
in that case, the back part becomes just the control module for the power coming through, and then the front bit can be programmed to do whatever you want it to do.
Exactly. And the back bit is the really clever part, because that's where our IP sits, is that a lot of homes don't have neutral wires, so lots of lights are wired in series. So when you switch the light off, there's no power going through the circuit. So putting technology into a light switch is really hard, because if you put it in, and in the UK we have 6 million homes that were built before World War I, so they're not going to have the right wiring in them.
Sure. And
it's the same across America. So the beauty about this is it will work.
Lots of places with frayed aluminum wires still.
Exactly. So this works with any wiring system.
Okay.
And so we use a mixture of a battery and something called parasitic power, where we take a very small current off the line, and we use those two things to manage the power of the device itself, so we can keep it alive all the time. So it's a real DIY proposition, really easy. So to fit and install.
Okay.
And then coming next will be a plug socket, and then that will then sort of be from the hardware perspective of our proposition, and then everything else will be software driven.
Okay. So the outlets would look like outlets, but be all this cool stuff on the backside.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
very cool.
So and then third-party devices that we can then interact with through Matter and Thread. So we have Thread chips in here, so we can talk to any other device, interact. So what we're hoping is that there's a whole new ecosystem arriving that we can then interact with, and for most consumers, it gives you that energy management piece that, sounds interesting, and maybe one or two of us in the home are interested in, but the rest of the family are probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Me and not everybody else.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay. What's the availability on these?
So we have just launched in the UK. Today's the first day we've ever shown this product to anyone else. So it's
excellent.
It's quite, so we were very excited.
You're here today.
Very excited to be here at CES. And so we will be coming to the US as soon as we can, so in the next few months.
Awesome.
And we also build all these in the UK in-house.
Okay.
And the plan will be when we come to the US, it'll be made in America.
Okay.
So we'll be assembling, building them all in the US as well. So we think that's really important, especially when we're dealing with personal data, your own behavior in-house. So actually, it's a product that actually stays in the country.
I would say, so in coming to the US, would data processing and stuff, all of that would stay here onshore?
A lot of the data processing we try and do on the device itself.
But
the cloud will be then in country.
You still have the ability to interact with it from your phone, so the data is going somewhere, and all of that is being handled.
So at the moment we do it in the UK, and then we'll do it in the US.
For here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Very cool. That's great to hear. You guys are starting to do more and more tech manufacturing over there, because Raspberry
in the UK,
Raspberry Pi, for example.
Well, the chairman of Raspberry Pi is one of our investors. So
fantastic! So he's a good friend of the network. So.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Very cool.
So we have a number of really cool investors, and as they say, hardware's hard. But we've gone that bit done.
Awesome. Well, if people want to find out more about the company, maybe get one when they start to launch, or just follow your journey, how can they do that?
Tewke.com. If they just go and look for us on. We're on Instagram and Facebook and everything else. But Tewke.com. Come and follow us.
All right.
Fantastic.
We'll
keeping you updated.
Thank you so much for coming up and talking to me.
Thanks. Appreciate
Obviously, I'm really interested. It's cool product.
Thanks.
Appreciate
your time.
The Tech Podcast Network CES 2025 coverage is executive produced by Adam Barker. Technical director is Kirk Corliss. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Tracy Ingram, Xerxes Goddard, Brandy Jackson, and Aviva Cram. voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, and Scott Ertz. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. The TPN studio executive is Todd Cochran. This has been a Tech Podcast Network production, copyright 2025.